Alright, so here is the open-ended section of the test. So we'll just quickly go through these solutions. As you'll see, some of these are very similar to the multiple choice questions. So the first one is very straightforward. It says evaluate the logarithmic expression without using a calculator. So remember, the word log, whenever we ask this, is just asking what's the exponent on the base. So our base is 5. So I know 5 to the third power equals 125, so the answer right here is just 3. For number 2, we want to use properties of exponents to expand 18 into 2s and 3s, and then we can evaluate it using this. So what I have here is just going to be log of 18. Well, can I write that in terms of 2s and 3s? Let's see, that's 6 times 3, which is 3 times 2 times 3. Or another way is 2 times 3 times 3. So this is 18. So now, because I have multiplication, we can expand that into addition. So this is the same thing as log of 2 plus 2 logs of 3s. So I can write this as 2 log of 3. And now we just sub in what we know. This is just going to be log of 2, which is 0.301. And then 2 times log of 3 is 0.477. If you leave it like that, that's fine. If you want, you can add those together. For number 3, we want to expand using the properties. So this is just like what we just did, except here they actually just have the expression given to us. So let's write this out. This is going to be log base 9 of 9. Then it's times x to the 5th times y divided by z to the 3rd. So times expands into addition again. So a separate log for each one. So log base 9 of x to the 5th plus times y again. So I have plus another log base 9 of y. And then since I'm dividing by z to the 3rd, division expands into subtraction. So I have log base 9 of z to the 3rd. Then all these exponents, we can just move to the front of the logs. Also, since we happen to know what log base 9 of 9 is, right, the exponent of 9 that gives it itself is 1, we can just put a 1 there. So this is 1 plus, pop this 5 out into the front, so it's 5 log base 9 of x plus log base 9 of y, and then minus 3 log base 9 of z. And there's your answer. Number 3 is similar, just going the opposite direction. We have multiple logarithms. We're going to condense it into a single log. So before we do that, we want to pop that 5 back onto the x, and then we can condense this into one log. So this is just log of 8. We're going to write it just once. And addition condenses to multiplication. So this is just x to the 5th times y. And that's the answer. For number 5, we're going to solve this equation. So I always, again, like to think SADMAP. Get rid of addition, subtraction first. So minus 3. So I get 4 log base 4 of x is equal to 12. Then I get rid of multiplication division, so that's going to be divide by 4. And I'm going to cancel out those 4s. I'm going to get log base 4 of x is equal to 3. And last, to cancel out a log, we have to exponentiate, meaning you turn it into an exponent with the same base of 4. So what I do to one side, I do to the other. That makes the log cancel, and I'm left with x is 4 to the 3rd, which is 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. For number 6, similar, we're just going to use SADMAP, so add 20. I get ln of 5x is equal to 5. And then to cancel out a log base e, which is what ln is, we use exponentiate base e. So that cancels out the ln, and we're left with 5x is e to the 5th. So if I just divide by 5, you get our answer of x is equal to e to the 5th over 5. Another similar question is number 7. We're going to use SADMAP, so subtract 7. We get 6 to the 4x is equal to 6. So two ways you can do this. We can either cancel this using a log, Or we can see that this is 6 to the first power. This is 6 to the 4x power. So since they're the same on both sides, we can just cancel those logs out, those bases out, and I get 4x is 1. So just dividing by 4, we get our answer of x is equal to 1/4. Another similar one, number 8. What we're going to do on this is SADMIP, so get rid of addition subtraction first by adding this 4. And we get 2 here. Now to cancel out a log, or an exponential base e, we have to use log base e, which is ln. So if I do ln on both sides, that cancels. I'm left with 3x is equal to ln of 2. And then if I divide by 3, then remember, can't cancel anything here. So all we're going to be left with is just ln of 2, all that over 3. Almost done here. We got number 9. So this one's straightforward also. We have log base e and ln on both sides. So remember, whenever we have one log on both sides, they both just cancel out. We can use big E on both sides to cancel it out. So we're just really solving negative 5x plus 3 equals 3x plus 3. And if I move the 5x over to the right and move the 3 over to the left, see here I'm going to get 0. That's also 0. And here I get 8x. So if I solve for x, if I divide them by 8, we get x equals 0. Number 10. This is another equating exponents. It's probably the easiest method. Here I have 4 to some power, so I can rewrite 16 as 4 to the second power. And once we're at that point, then we can just cancel out the base 4s. And I get 2 is equal to 3x minus 1. And I can solve this. And my answer is going to be x equals 1. And last problem on here is another solving logs, but this one's a little more where we have to condense this first. Remember, we can't just cancel out 2 logs at the same time. If I can condense it to a single log, then we're good, because now I can cancel out a log base 2 using exponentiating by base 2. Now that cancels out, and I get v times v minus 2 is equal to 2 to the third is just 8, which is v squared minus 2v minus 8 is equal to 0. And then we can solve this by factoring like we saw in our example. So let's see, v times v is v squared. 4 times 2 is 8, so I need one of them to be negative, and I think since this is minus, I'll make the bigger number negative. Always double check that I have minus 4v and 2v, that's negative 2v, that's correct. And so if I solve this by setting them equal to 0, I get v is equal to 4 and v is equal to negative 2. But remember, check for extraneous solutions. We can't take the log of a negative, so our only answer is v is negative 4.